Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. I've got a good one for you today because we're going to talk about so much that's going on in the economy, business news, bank mergers, Amazon, shenanigans, a little bit of everything. As always, please like these videos. Please subscribe to the channel, but let's get right into it. You know, it's funny. Amazon is stepping up its game as far as the grocery business, and they're following a UK model. And what they want to do is they want to have an entirely new store, Amazon Grocery. And what Amazon Grocery is going to do is it's going to have over 1,000 items that are already prepackaged, kind of like the UK model, like Tesco, Sainsbury, Aldi. Now, I've been to an Aldi before. It's okay. Okay. I've never liked the store. I like going to get meat where there's a butcher shop and they're cutting the meat right there. That's important to me. I don't like prepackaged meat shipped in and then you get it. That's a problem I have. The crackers and things like that look kind of dollar stores to me. You know what I mean? Kind of a cheaper brand. You got to do what you got to do and you got to eat. But again, it's going to be interesting because they're going and saying we're going right after Walmart. We're going right after Target. We want to be the people's discount grocery store. It's going to be interesting to see if that works. So who knows? Who knows? This is the time of the year around the United States that you see retail buildings that get taken over by a place called Spirit Halloween. This is not about the Spirit Halloween model. I did that video 2 years ago, and I have never had so much hate mail in my life. You know, talking about spreading Satan and all this ridiculousness. I'm talking about kids' Halloween costumes, and I had more hate mail from giving the story of Spirit Halloween. That's not the point of this. Spirit Halloween's the average of those stores. They used to generate $500,000 in sales for each one of those stores is what they average. Now it's much less because the economy is suffering. But what is changing right now between now and the end of the year is you're going to see the one and only Toys R Us come back with the Spirit Halloween model. They're going to open up, starting November 1st, they're going to open up toy stores around the country that are going to have the Spirit Halloween model, where they're going to be a pop-up toy store. So you're going to be able to go buy your kids, your grandkids, niece and nephews, neighbors down the street, toys from these different stores, and you're going to be able to walk in and see everything. Now, personally, I like to buy gifts like that I see and pick up. You know, I have two great nephews, and they're about a year and a half apart, but I like to, okay, this kid would like this, and this one would like this. I like to pick up the toy and touch it so that, okay, that's what they're going to get. Buying it online is not the same thing. Oh, wow, that's a lot smaller than I thought. It's not the same thing. Oh, that needs a lot of batteries, type of stuff that you would learn if you're holding it in your hand. So I think this is going to be a complete success. Now, Toys R Us went bankrupt in 2017, and they're bringing back, out of bankruptcy. They're keeping the Toys R Us name, but they're going to have these pop-up stores. Will that be successful? I mean, from a lease standpoint, not having to rent a store and not having the high-end market, it's great. When you look at stores like Burlington Coat Factory, they just call it Burlington now, that place is ridiculous. The one in Huntington Beach is so disgusting in that beautiful city, but one thing they do is they keep moving the walls in shorter, so the store keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller because they don't have the merchandise and they don't have the customers. So it will be interesting to see if this works. This model works for Toys R Us this year. And if it does, then you could have pop-ups for Bed Bath & Beyond and for linens and things like that. If this model works, why would you have a retail store? We would just take over dead stores. Think about it. Look, think of all the Targets, the Starbucks stores that are going to go down for the count. You could rent out a Starbucks and have a pop-up store, dress shop, whatever, and do it for the holidays. Now, the next thing, one thing we've talked about for a year and a half is that you're going to see merger mania. One thing that we woke up to late yesterday was the fact that Fifth Third Bank, which is still a horrible name for a bank, Fifth Third Bank is merging with Comerica Bank. So they're coming out to the West Coast. We have a bunch of Comerica branches out here, and Fifth Third Bank has basically been an East Coast bank. This is, you can read the press release below, you can read the news stories below. But what it's done is it's taking two banks talking about that are so uh, healthy, they're so positive. This is just going to make a better bank. No one believes this stuff. No one believes that people do this out of always that we're going to be the driving force. It's always survival. Fifth Third Bank got its name Fifth Third Bank got its name from the merger of Third National Bank and Fifth National Bank in the 20s. Again, what marketing genius came up with Fifth Third Bank? Again, horrible. Call it Fred's Bank. It would have been better than Fifth Third. I hate that. I hate the name. Okay? So they're going to be the ninth largest bank in the world after this merges. So you feel better? Isn't it great? Our strength is going to be in our branches. We're going to have, 1,100 branches from Fifth Third and 430 from Comerica. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be the ninth largest bank. Again, no one believes this. No one believes that this is all done to build some juggernaut. It just doesn't work. So do you guys, either one of you bank, any of you bank at Fifth Third or Comerica? Do you think that's a big deal? So let us all know. Let us all know. I keep getting, stories sent to me about businesses that go, down for the count. There was one of them that was horrible. It was North Carolina, Henderson, North Carolina community store, where people bought their first BB gun and people went and bought their first fishing poles, and places just done. So Sherman Sports and Army Store started in 1922. God, this is sad. This is sad. But again, you're going to have pop-up retail, and Sherman's can't make it. Now, again, I don't know Sherman's, never been there. It could have been an old Army-Navy store. The Army-Navy store in Orange, California was scary. It was in a great neighborhood, and the store was scary. The staff was scary. The people that shopped there were survivalist dudes that were looking for a headache, if you know what I mean. So let me know what you think so far. There's more to cover. Nice, crisp morning. I love business and finance news. I have always said that you can learn a lot from the wealthy and what they do. You may not have the same amount of money, you may not have the same savings, but if you look at what they do, there's a reason for it. Dave Ramsey was talking about his FICO score, and that his FICO score was basically zero. And I'm thinking, well, how do you have a zero FICO score? And then I pulled this up, which was Dave Ramsey talking about his FICO score. And there's a great story below about this. And he broke down the math. 35% of a FICO score is based on your payment history. 30% is based on your debt level, and 15% in the length of time you had the debt. That's one thing they say, is that if you want to hurt you, if you have an old credit card, most of the time you want to keep it open because it will hurt your credit if you get rid of it. Okay, so that's one thing. Again, Dave Ramsey pays cash for everything, doesn't finance everything, but I always get a kick out of a guy that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars telling you to pay cash. Now, JP Morgan is saying that people are searching for the elusive goal in retirement of $1 million, and that most retired people don't have $1 million. Only about 4% of them have $1 million, and less than 3% of us common folk have $1 million saved. Now, what they recommend now, what they're changing the strategy is this. They're changing the strategy to where you have to have income replacement. What does it cost for you to live and have a little extra, go on vacation, do your stuff, fun stuff? If you look at that, and if you save money that way and plan for income replacement, look at your Social Security, look at this. It's, people can get by with only $700,000. And even that figure is crazy. So think about this. Do you have $700,000 saved? Good. You're in good shape. I know it's crazy when you think about this. Now, speaking of ultra wealthy, what is ultra wealthy? Ultra wealthy are people that have $30 million or more. Okay, well, I don't have 30 million bucks. Are you guys ultra wealthy? Well, the ultra wealthy are on the move right now, and I found a great story from the UK, and I'm talking about here in the United States. I love stories out of the country where they talk about our finances here. They're great. They're fantastic. So the story I found says that the number one place that people are moving to. 8.8% of the ultra wealthy are going to Florida, of course. Now, do they care about their insurance? Not like you and I do. They're not worried about making house payments and things like that when you got a $30 million nest egg. And the second place is Texas, 7.9%. What is the fastest growing state that by 2030 could overtake both those two states? And I'm sitting there rambling, oh, it's got to be Arizona, it's got to be Montana. No, it's Utah. Utah is the state that all these people are moving to. That's crazy. I mean, who knew? Who knew? So what you're seeing is you're seeing more and more and more of these people that are packing their bags and getting out of California, getting out of New York. And I'm telling you, when that commie guy gets in there, okay, it's going to decimate that city, and it's going to decimate an entire political party. But that's just Dan's opinion. So again, one thing disturbing: 1/3 of all Americans have nothing for retirement, and they're banking on Social Security. Again, I know a lot of professionals, people that just go out and live for the weekend, which is, great. Go live for the weekend. Go do your thing, but they don't have anything to rely on. I always get a kick out when these birds do this. Let me show you this. So, it's weird. When the sun comes out and these streamers are out, you get none of these birds here. So this is that Veterans Park, which is really cool. But look at that bird just waiting. So what you're going to see is you're going to see more and more and more people that have trouble, that are trying to replace their income. Very rarely can someone hit their late 50s and go, oh, you know what, I'm going to start saving now. I have a friend who worked for the county and gets a pension that is sick. I mean, I'm talking almost $15,000 a month. And he literally sits there and walks his dog all day, and he's in his late 50s. That guy's got it made. At first, it was like, wow, you're going to be bored out of your mind. You should go back to work. He was like, yeah, in about 3 or 4 months, I'll figure out something to do. You know what he wants to do? Nothing. Come swim in my pool. That's what he wants to do. So anyways, point is that people sit there and don't do anything, okay, if they have the money. Some people are motivated by this, and some people realize that they're never going to have anything. So what boat are you in? Are you in the boat that doesn't have anything? Or are you in the boat that you're ready for retirement? I'm going to finish this video with the last few things. Don't forget to sign up for our email list. The link is below. And don't forget that we have a private channel where we talk about uncensored things and things you can't talk about elsewhere, called iAllegedly Live. Use the link below to sign up for that. A few things I want to talk about is, Waymo is the new taxis that are coming out. And what's happening is, like all good shoppers, they're comparing that to Uber and Lyft. And it's basically the same thing because there's no driver. You're not tipping the driver. So generally it's more expensive to take a driverless car, but you're not tipping anybody. So bunch of reports, story below, about how basically different cities, Austin, San Francisco, it's the same amount of money. Now, one thing that's funny is you're starting to see discount stores and discount deals have bigger problems where you got to do more to get more. Do you care that Starbucks has a Taylor Swift promotion? I could care less. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan at all. And I heard her new album, even though she's made a boatload of money. And the worst thing for a writer, the worst thing is to be happy. I'm telling you, I wrote some dark stuff, and the best stuff, the stuff that got sold during my darkest days. Taylor Swift getting cheated on and breaking up with every other guy, a week after week, made her good stuff. I truly believe she's happy with this Travis Kelce guy, and he'll make a great wife. But that guy has made her happy, so her stuff sucks. And I have all these people writing me, and I don't know why. You hear how terrible it is? No, I heard 30 seconds of it, and it was enough to make me want to jump out of the first floor of a building. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? So do you care that there's promotions like that? The Anaheim Angels are so cheap that when they win a game by a certain amount, you can get a free medium fry, not a large fry, a medium fry, if you have the app on your phone. And I'm like, I'm not going to get the app for McDonald's on my phone to go get a free medium fry. It's ridiculous. Well, Dunkin' Donuts has a problem because They have more, giveaway items and things like that. Hey, buy this and get this. Only problem with it is it's getting so expensive to get these discounts that why bother? Why would you have an app? And kids are starting to notice this, young people, people in their 20s that use stuff like this. They're saying, wait a second, why would I pay for this and pay more just to get less? So the greatest example I have of this is there was a place, Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, used to have its own coffee maker, and I would buy these things like crazy, the pods, because I drink coffee like it's going out of style. I drink 9 cups a day sometimes. Anyways, they had a great program that if you spent $40 with them, you got a free beverage. I would have what I was called platinum status, and I had tons of free coffee and all these different discounts. I walk in one day and my status went to 0. Oh yeah, we changed it. You can start over again. So I was nobody. I didn't get a priority getting my drinks, and it was horrible. This is what Dunkin' Donuts is doing to people. It's making it so that you have to spend more, to where I don't think about this. I don't even go to Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf anymore because they got rid of that program. What program, what good program did you say, oh, this sucks, I'm never going to go there again? Discount shopping programs need to benefit you. And again, you have to give up your phone number, you have to give up your name, your email address, and all that shenanigans for this stuff. But there are things that have ruined themselves. And I have a feeling that Dunkin' Donuts, Dunkin', whatever you want to call them this week, is going to ruin itself. So let me know what you think about all this stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. You want to get a hold of me, it's hello@iallegedly.com. Life is good, guys. Life is good. If you know how to get through these difficult times, you're going to be fine. Just get ready. Educate yourself. That's the best thing you can do. Get yourself in shape and have a good day. Okay? I'll see you soon.